Good morning again. It could be afternoon or evening, depending on when you're watching this. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making our version of salsa. We do like to use the Mrs. Wages salsa, but we always add our little twist in there. So follow along and you can try this recipe for yourself. While you're here, don't forget, hit that notification bell, the subscribe button, and the like button. That way you can always get my content and you can share some of these yummy recipes with your family or try them for yourself. Let's get this started. Alright, so for this recipe you're going to need about 10 cups of tomatoes. I'm using mostly Roma tomatoes out of the garden. I had a couple stray tomatoes that weren't that pretty, but we're going to go ahead and use them. We're going to cut them and de-seed them until we get up to our 10 cups. And so we'll go ahead and get that started. So you can use any type of tomato, like I said. What I do generally is just use what I have on hand. I had an excess of Roma tomatoes. And you can also take the skins off of these, and if you want to know how to do that, you can look at my previous videos. But you can freeze them and then take them out and defrost them and take the skin right off, or you can put them in hot boiling water for 3 to 5 minutes until the skins get wrinkly, and put them in an ice cold bath after that. And once they're cool enough to handle, you can take the skin off that way as well. With our salsa, we're not too we like to leave our skins on. It has, to me, added benefits. You see inside you have these seeds, so I will just go through and get those out as much as possible. It's not like a necessity, but you will have more juice in your salsa if you leave them in. So I cut them in half. I cut them again. I like ours chunky. Plus, if I cut them again, I can get more seeds out and more of the excess juice. So I kind of leave them on the chunkier side because they will break down when we cook them. And these seeds too, if it's a tomato that you really like, you can ferment them and ferment them for 3 days and then put them on a paper towel to dry, and you'll have seeds for next year, so you don't have to buy seeds again. If you do that every year, you will eventually be able to have your own seeds every year without having to purchase them at the stores or order them online or wherever you get your seeds. And that's it. We're going to do that until we fill this up to 10 cups. You can see I had a extra green pepper that was ripening, so it has some multicolors. I'm going to go ahead and use that up because I don't want it to go to waste. You see the inside here? We just go in, I take my finger at the top here, push down, grab my other two fingers and pull out. And that will get a lot of the seeds out. See, I got the peppers all cut up and put in with the tomatoes, and it's starting to overflow. So now I'm going to go ahead and cut the onions. And the reason that we do this, you do not need to do this, but we do because we like our salsa a little chunkier. Most of my recipes, as you can tell, are pretty versatile. We just kind of do things to the way that we like it. So I'm just going to go ahead and chunk up this onion just like I did the peppers. But I'm going to do the onion just a little bit smaller so that we do not have big chunks of an onion bite. We don't mind chunks of the pepper bite, but we do smaller with the onions. And usually I will cut them about that thick. And when they separate, they're like that thick. So I'm going to go ahead and continue chopping and preparing the rest of the meaty part of the salsa. At this point, you can also, if you want your salsa on the hot side, you can add your jalapenos or whatever peppers you would like. The Mrs. Wages that I'm using is already medium, and we're not big hot salsa family, so we're going with the mild. So I won't be adding any jalapenos or red chili peppers, but that is an option that you can add to this. So now we're going to take all of this yummy goodness and dump it in our pan. And then you're going to need a half cup of either distilled white vinegar, or you can use apple cider vinegar. The choice is yours. Just going to pour that over there. And then you're going to use the 1 packet of the salsa mix. And that's pretty much it. Very simple. Bring you up here so you can see. And at this point, we're just going to stir it and mix it. And it'll create its own juices when you put it on the heat. Smells really good. Alright, so now that we have that all mixed up, we're going to go put it on the heat. At this point, I turn it on medium and let it cook down to my desired consistency. So that's kind of hard to tell you a specific time frame. It's just something that you have to kind of look at, and when you see it get to the point of where you like it, it's ready to can. At this point, I also have my water bath canner with my jars inside already being sterilized. And I think I'm going to add a little bit of cilantro, just to beat that up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just take a couple, I'll say maybe a teaspoon, I'll go with the tablespoon of cilantro and chop it in here as well. Now, if you don't care for cilantro, you can omit this step. This is just something that I prefer. I got that in there. That's ready to go. Now we have it down to the consistency that we like. We're going to go ahead and start getting our canning jars out. And getting ready to can this deliciousness all up. So let's go ahead and bring 2 jars over. You're going to see that I have different size jars. And the reason for that is because some things we're going to need a larger jar for. And if it's just us snacking, we're going to use the smaller jars. These are pint-sized jars. We'll go ahead and put our little funnel thing on. And at this point, since we added peppers and onions and things, it changed the acidity level. So you can add a tablespoon of lemon juice at this time, or a tablespoon of lime juice to every jar to bring your acidity level back up. We're going to use the lime because it pairs well for our taste with the cilantro. So I went ahead and put 1 tablespoon in each of those jars. And then you're going to bring your beautiful salsa over and take it, put it in there. You're going to bring this up to a 1/2 inch headspace. And then you're going to debubble it. Then I take my clean rag and dip it in white distilled vinegar and clean off the rims so that you can get a good seal. Put the lid on and the ring, finger tight, and that is ready to go in the water bath. Same thing here. I'm going to go ahead and fill this up to a 1/2 inch headspace. And debubble. Go around the edges. Make sure that you try to get all those bubbles out. And again, wipe the rim. See how there was some on the rim last time, so I was able to get that off. That will prevent your seal. We do not want that. Go ahead and put the lid on, the ring, and it's ready for water bath. I'm going to go ahead and finish filling up these jars, and then we'll continue on. Alright, so we finally got all that salsa canned up, and as you can see, it made 4 of the bigger jars and 3 of the smaller jars. So now they are ready to be dropped down into the water bath. Down into the water bath, covered the lid, made sure that it was at least an inch above each jar. We're going to set the timer once this starts boiling. Now it is hot, but it is not boiling. Once it comes to a full rolling boil, we will set the timer for 40 minutes for processing. And there it is. All ready to go. Definitely a year's supply for us. Looking beautiful. You can see all the peppers and the onions in there. And they are popping and letting me know that they are sealed. Thank you for joining me today. Hopefully you'll try this salsa recipe and enjoy it as much as we do. And as always, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you know when any videos are uploaded to the forum. And we love you. God bless you. Share, share, share. Have a good day.